Hi VC, Rich here. Good morning from a rather grey and chilly Yokohama. It's been a few months since I posted a video, so I thought I would just post a quick update on some of the records I have bought in the last few months or so. So it's kind of a mix of reissues and a few 90s classics. I've managed to pick up the originals for a few that have been on my wish list for a while, so I finally managed to find them at fairly decent prices here in Japan. So okay, I guess it's about 20 records or so. So it's been a fairly busy few months. First is a 7-inch that has been on my want list for a while and I managed to find it. Muse Plug-in Baby, which I think is quite a rare one. I mean, I was looking for it for a while and finally found it at a decent price here. Next, this is the only album I have that's not from the 90s onwards. So I hadn't seen this before. This is the Kinks soap opera. It's a German press, but what's interesting about this, it's 2 albums actually. Soap opera and then Schoolboys in Disgrace. I actually haven't listened to this yet, but I'm looking forward to doing so soon. So yeah, two records for the price of one, which is nice. Okay, maybe I'll move on to a few 90s originals. So firstly, I managed to find Head Music by Suede, an original press. So I have their first and second and third albums. I have originals of those, and I didn't have this one. It's not my favourite Suede album, but I wanted to have an original copy, so I managed to find that. Sleeper, their first album, Smart, from I think 95. It's got In Betweener on, which is one of my favourite tracks of theirs, so happy to have that. I picked up the reissue a few years ago as well, but I wanted to get the original, so finally have that. This one I'd been looking for a long time, and it suddenly popped up on Disc Union for a decent price. So I now have proud owner of an original pressing of probably my favourite Manics album, Everything Must Go. And finally, don't laugh, but this popped up for a decent price, and just because it's kind of nostalgic more than anything. It's not Britpop, but it's from 1993, I think. Take That's maybe their first album, Take That and Party. Mainly because I'm a kid of the 90s and I remember a lot of these tracks being in the charts, so I thought I would pick that up. Slightly embarrassed to do so, but anyway, now in the collection. And here, this is not from the 90s, but it's still kind of a rare original, and I hadn't seen it. Well, I've been looking for it for a while, and finally found it. The Coral, Invisible Invasion, which is their third or fourth album from 2005. Yeah, I think I've been looking for this for a good 3 or 4 years. It popped up every now and then for really silly prices, but I managed to find it for a decent price, so I picked that up. And I don't think this has been reissued yet. So yeah, very happy to have that. And then another one which, yeah, not so rare I think, but an original of Magic and Medicine as well, by the Coral. Oh yeah, this one as well. This, again, been looking for a while. This popped up for 1,000 yen on the Disc Union here in Japan. It's a 3 LP set, The Decemberists, We All Raise Our Voices to the Air. It's a live album. Again, I think it's worth a bit more than 1,000 yen, which is about 1,000. How much is that? 4 or 5 quid. So I think they mispriced this. So I was very happy to find this, pick it up. It's one of my favourite artists actually, and I think they have a new album coming out in June, so I'm looking forward to that. And next, mainly reissues, but some interesting ones. So I picked up this reissue of the Strokes' first album. Came out here in Japan with a nice obi. I don't think it's pressed in Japan. It's pressed in Europe or America, but they've just slapped on an obi, but still a little collector's piece, I guess. Nice to have. And again, a Japanese version. I mean, not a Japanese pressing, but has an obi. Is Mitsuki's album, Bury Me at Makeout Creek. Sorry, going back to the 90s for a second. Radiohead Street Spirit 12-inch. Reissue here of The Darkness's first album. This came out a few months ago. This is on nice blue vinyl. I'll show you this. Very nice. I think originals of this go for city money, so it was due a reissue. This I picked up. This came out 3 or 4 years ago. A reissue of James Iha. I don't know how you say it. Anyway, from the Smashing Pumpkins, his first album. Originals go for a lot, and this reissue now goes for a lot as well. I've just noticed on Discogs. So nice to have that. That came out in 2020 here in Japan. And then this one I didn't pick up recently, but my son wanted me to show it because he loves it. This came out, reissue of this, 2018, The Feeling, 12 Stops and Home. I have to agree with my son, it's a fantastic album. Every song is really great. So yeah, for my son, here we go. The Feeling, highly recommended. I think the original goes for a lot. The reissue, I guess you can probably still get it, I'm not sure. Another reissue I'll be waiting for a long time because the original goes for silly money. Stornoway Beachcombers Windowsill. Yeah, it's a really great album. It came out in 2010 and this reissue came out I think late last year or early this year, but nice to have it finally on vinyl. Ben Folds, his latest album, I think came out last year. This is a colour edition with, and I didn't realise when I ordered it, but it's signed as well. There we go. Then a reissue of a really fantastic album from the mid-90s, Catatonia, probably their best album, International Velvet. I do have an original, but this came out last year for National Album Day in the UK on colour vinyl. So I wanted to get that. A random one I picked up last week, Ordinary Boys, their second album, brass bound. Got a couple of good tracks on there. Boys Will Be Boys was a fairly big hit back in 2005, 2006. Yeah, good to have that. Their first album is also very good. And then another reissue I picked up fairly cheap here in Japan, Ryan Adams' Heartbreaker. So I quite like Ryan Adams. I like Gold, and I hadn't listened to this album before, but I had a listen on YouTube and thought, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll try and grab that if I can. And Disc Union had a copy for sale, second-hand copy, sealed, so I picked that up as well. Okay, so yeah, as you can see, it's been a fairly busy few months, and looking forward to the next few months. I'll try to do another update in a few months' time. Anyway, thanks for watching and have a lovely weekend. Bye-bye.